What have you been up to lately? Myself, I've been trying some cinematography practice. Hello everyone, this is Cindy from Myalism Films, and I do apologize why my voice sounds like this. It's a little bit early in the morning, and that's why it sounds like I've smoked a pack of cigarettes. Yeah, it's mornings for my voice. This cinematography practice came as an idea after I saw a video by a YouTuber called Nigel Barrows. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. Nigel's video gives wonderful tips on how to tackle cinematography practice on your own. His video is going to be down in the description below, and I do advise you to check it out, perhaps after this video. I'm also testing out a new microphone. It's a 360 mic. I usually use my mobile kit for these videos. It's a wireless kit with a lav mic. It's really easy and it's a really good quality sound, but I picked this one up from a yard sale for like 20 bucks. It's a Yoda brand. I'm not exactly sure. It sounds really good, but I'm actually curious how it's going to sound for this video, given the fact that I'm in a room that doesn't have any padding or anything like that. It's probably going to be a little bit echoey. Back to the cinematography practice. After I watched Nigel's video, I started to think about my own approach towards cinematography and my own understanding of it. I started thinking back to my own learning curve, and I found out that I actually haven't been putting that much effort in time into like bettering it, essentially. I find it extremely valuable to have these learning tasks every once in a while, and I do try to make them a more consistent aspect of my filmmaking journey, because to be honest, when you don't have any films lined up, when you're not working on a specific project, when you're not editing any videos, it's good to put some time aside for learning and practice. I think that goes without saying that practice in filmmaking is essential as practice in anything that you are trying to better yourself at. So I do believe that putting time aside to learn and to practice, it's only going to help you get better at what you're doing. Not only that, but it'll help you understand your craft a little bit better and how you view things. Now, you might think you won't be able to do this practice with your smartphone, but that's where you'll be wrong. Your smartphone is like any other camera. And honestly, for this practice, you don't need anything aside from a smartphone and a tripod. But having at your disposal the pro video settings on your smartphone, which allow you to set manual focus, set white balance, or even better, an app like FiLMiC Pro, which allows you to do that, but even more with manual focus pull. Again, setting white balance, you have film looks that essentially color grade your shot in real time as you're shooting, and log, and a bunch of other different amazing things. That really makes this task more about time rather than gear. What helped me when I started thinking about my cinematography practice was thinking about reference shots that were a little bit more grounded in reality, something that I was going to be able to achieve a bit easier with just the bare minimum, which is my smartphone and a tripod. Plus, I had to think about the lighting, because that's like a really essential part of setting up any scene. Now, in my case, I tried to look for reference shot that would allow me to work with either natural or practical light, and natural light was my preferred choice here, just because, well, it's at everyone's disposal. Don't get me wrong, working with natural light also requires some technical understanding, some technical knowledge, and the way how you can shape it and use it at different times of day. You can use diffusion or negative fill, so there's more things to look into this if you want to play around with natural light. But like I said, at the bare minimum, you just need light, and you need to know what time of day you're going to be using to achieve your shot. So you have to have a little bit of an understanding about like golden hour, blue hour. All in all, the only things that you're going to need are your smartphone, any tripod for those steady shots. Obviously, you're not going to be able to control natural light if you're using just the bare minimum, but at the end of the day, you are making it on your own with no budget whatsoever, so it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be completely accurate to the reference shot, but it's going to be as close as possible, and it's going to just help you practice and understand how to set up shots. And that's the core essential here, and that's the point of this exercise. I immediately narrowed it down to 2 movies which I knew were going to work for what I wanted to do: Minari and Nomadland. If you haven't seen those movies, I do recommend you see them. They're wonderful movies. Just thinking about working with natural light, both of these movies have scenes which are just perfect for that, especially Nomadland. But a certain shot from Minari won me over, so I decided to do that instead. Now, this is a good tip. Nigel also mentions it in his video, but I do believe also that it's a really good tip. When you're thinking about a movie to choose for this cinematography practice, think about the movie that you really like and that you really admire the cinematography of. That's really going to help you when you're choosing, and it's really going to help you when you start to set up things, but also it's going to make you a lot more fun for yourself to try to replicate a shot from a movie that you really like. But also, you've already seen the film. You have an understanding of the shot, you know where it comes from, and you know where the movie goes from there. But now you have the chance to understand why and how it's set up the way it is. To look at it both in a technical and emotional aspect, to really try to understand the composition of it. To analyze the colors, the light, the angle, and why they are the way they are. And to try your hand at it. Again, using the bare minimum. I gush over movies way too much, and I can spend hours talking about certain scenes, but not all of those scenes are easy to replicate in real life. Some of my favorite movies might be challenging to pull off, some of yours might be too. So what do you do then? How do you tackle this challenge, and how do you try to do the cinematography practice if you don't have a movie come up in your mind right away? What if you need a little bit of help? Nigel shared a great tool in his video that I really want to put here in this video and make note of it. It's called Film Grab. There will be a link below as well, and I do advise you to check it out. Film Grab is a repository packed with movies and scenes from them. You can browse through categories, artists, A to Z, you name it. If you don't have an initial idea, you can use Film Grab to, well, grab inspiration. Even if you don't have a certain movie in mind, you can find something that connects with you there. And who knows, maybe that will spark an interest in you and provoke you to seek out the film itself. It's a win-win situation. I chose this shot from Minari. You may have seen it if you happen to follow me on social, because I did a test run with it. I came unprepared with no props, the wrong tripod, and no real idea how this will look like in the end. Forgot my tiny tripod, the Manfrotto one. I have like this setup happening here. This tripod is too big to get that like long angle shot that the Minari Film Grab has, so I have it like set up kind of like this, and I just prop the phone in this gap here, and it kind of works for the long angle shot. But that experience showed me the great potential and educational value of setting up that shot myself with my smartphone using natural light, just tools I have easy access to. And I'll try to use like a low angle, kind of like here, to try to replicate that shot with the kind of like grass or like flowers in the foreground and the mountain in the background, with me standing here in the middle ground. And that's kind of like the theme of this video, trying to do the cinematography practice with just the tools that you have at your disposal. Thinking about the shot and why it's framed the way it is, that's when the real learning begins. Each shot from Minari is a painting, a still image capturing time, thoughts, decisions, dreams. It's a really human movie, one which takes time and patience. This shot in particular feels long, although it's not in reality, but it feels like that. It's easy to get what this shot means, or attach your own meaning to it if you haven't seen the film. But if you have seen it, you know that in the sequence in which it appears, it's quite unique. There's so many things that I love about this scene, from the colors, from the way that it's framed, from the quietness of it, of that really still pause where the world is not moving, it's just him there in that field lighting that cigarette. The point is to try. try it this challenge. Try it any other filmmaking challenge that you can think of. Learning is part of the process, and each instance that you have free time and a chance to learn, take it. Don't be fooled by the feeling that you're only doing filmmaking when you're actually working on a project. Practicing is making sure you have the right set of skills and understanding of your own capabilities, your own tools. That's what practicing is. It's actually making sure next time you're working on a project, be that alone or with a group of people, maybe you're gonna have a team behind you, maybe you're going to be on your own, it doesn't matter, but it's going to make sure that you're not going to be wasting time and that you're actually going to understand what you're doing and why you're doing it the way you are. If you learn better in groups, grab a few friends and try to do the cinematography practice with them. But if you learn better on your own, like me, then the only thing that you're going to need is your smartphone, a tripod, and some free time. In both cases, take all of the time that you need and master it. Alright, hopefully this video was helpful to you. I found Nigel's video really eye-opening. It was a random suggestion from YouTube, but boy am I glad that I clicked on it because it gave me so much food for thought and it helped me create this video as well. I hope I managed to capture some of his tips here and translate them for mobile filmmaking. Just using your smartphone and a tripod is going to be enough, and it's just the essentials for you to try the cinematography practice on your own or with friends. Hope to see your shots on social. I'm really eager myself to try my hand at some other shots and to retry the Minari shot but make it better this time. Take care and till next time!